Hello everyone, this is Michelle. I am back with another video. So I am going to start doing my monthly runes, basically talking about them and everything. I am using the book Taking Up the Runes by Dana Paxton as where I'm getting all my information from. And yeah, so we're going to start at the uh, beginning of the whole set of runes, and we're going to go all the way to the end. Now, this is going to be once a month that I will be doing these videos, and they'll either be pre-recorded or they will be recorded on the day that I have it off. So, for instance, is the first day of the month I either open or close. If I close, I will do it in the morning. If I open, I will do it the night before, and I will make it available. So I'm using, these are bone runes. So this is what, for those who did not watch the video where I was showing you guys the runes, these are bone runes. So I'm going to actually go through these until I get to the rune that I am looking for. By the way, that's my phone. You know, that's the only thing I hate about. Just find this rune. Now, in this one, she does it as a set, like 2 runes, but I'm not doing it that way. Nope. Okay, here it is. Alright. Okay. So it's this one right here. It'll look differently in the video. And I have drawn that card in a couple of videos that I've done. So it was actually this rune card that is also part of it. Alright, so this is from Taking Up the Runes. So everything that I'm about ready to say is copyrighted, so please be nice to me. Alright. Okay, so Fihu and the other one, they both work well as a pair because they do with manifestation of productive energy. Okay, in this case, Fihu, this force is permanently directed towards growth and wealth, luck, and love. Alright, so the first rune is Fihu, and this is, I know you can't see it, so just see if I can, no, you're not going to be able to see it. Alright, so it's wealth, cattle, so Fihu is herds and fertility fields, freely, Freyr finds wealth for friends. So ancient meaning. Wealth is first and most basic meaning of the first rune in the Futhar in all the old rune poems. It was the origin of the English word fee. However, the word itself originally meant livestock, especially cattle. Latin made the same association. Our word penitentiary, hope I pronounced that, comes from the Latin pissus, precus, I think I'm butchering the name, A cow demonstrating that for the early Indo-European, wealth was not only transferable but could move under its own power. Like the Celts, the early Germanic people were a cattle culture. Dairy products were a staple of the diet. The most valued beasts were kept through the winter in the end of the communal longhouse. The animals which could not be fed until spring were sacrificed to honor the gods and fed the people. One way or another, wealth was counted in cows. However, prosperity can be a mixed blessing. Anglo-Saxon runic poem is the most sanging. Wealth be by all very much welcomed. Each man shall deal it out freely, if he will from the Lord get approval. So that is an Anglo-Saxon rune poem. That is after Christianity arrived. So you have the word the Lord instead of like the gods. In the Norwegian runic poem, the fact that wealth was not always a blessing is also made clear. Wealth causes trouble among relatives. The wolf is raised in the forest. The Icelandic poem agrees. Wealth is trouble among relatives, and fire of the sea and path of the serpent. And it's pretty apparent when we talk about wealth and family members, because a lot of them, when someone dies, they come around to first of all see who got the money, and second of all, are they going to get money? So you see that a lot in like will readings. You see a lot of like people that go and say, "Oh, hey, am I going to get something?" Which is probably why all of my grandmother's family members showed up, because they were trying to see if they were going to get some moolah. But it's not always a good thing. That's why always be appreciative of what you have and not want beyond what you're supposed to have, because if you continue to want, somehow, some way you're going to get it, but then it's going to come with its own problems, which is interesting. Probably the most dramatic example of wealth causing trouble among relatives in dramatic literature is the story of the treasure of Siegfried wins from Fafnir, who has taken the form of a dragon to guard it. It has already caused several deaths because before he gets it, and impelled by greed, his wife's brothers finally kill him. The refusal to reveal its hiding place leads to their deaths in the end. In the Nabil Ginlide, Siegfried's murderer Hagen finally dumps the gold into the Rhine, an exploit still celebrated by statue in the city of Worms. That I still cannot believe that is an actual city. Worms. Seriously? I'm sorry, but that is funny. Naming your city Worms is... Perhaps the advice offered in the Anglo-Saxon poem could help one avoid the problems predicted in the northern verses. If wealth is shared while its owner is still living, there will be nothing for the heirs to fight over. In Iron Age society, generosity was the greatest of virtue. In the Havamal, several verses underline the connection between cattle wealth and the right use of prosperity. Full-stocked Fulls has Fitzgerald's sons, who bear now a beggar's staff. Wealth is brief as the wink of an eye. Of friends, this most false. The unwise man, if he should get wealth or women's love, his arrogance grows but not his sense, or he goes deep in delusion. That's the Havamal 78 and 79. The moral is clear. Wealth is to be guarded but not hoarded, nor should it lull one into a false sense of security. That's prime example of that is when people win the lottery, they quit their jobs and they end up like splurging and using all the money. And before they know it, they're back to being poor, but they got a bunch of stuff. Welcome though it may be, it must be taken as a gift of the gods. Neither the fruits of the earth nor the love of others can ever be owned. The last verse implies a special warning not to treat women as property. And that's interesting. Women in the Middle Ages was considered property. They are loaned to us only to be used productively and shared with others. True riches are the wealth that souls gain from a life well lived. Okay, modern meaning. Hold on a second. Meaning ascribed to this rune by modern commentators range from the mythical to the practical. Willis believes that the kind of wealth represented by cattle is that which grows when cared for, which can produce more money when wisely invested, and that the rune sometimes means the need to conserve resources. Thorson, on the other hand, sees in the rune motion and expansion of power, mobility, luck, and fertility. Seems logical to associate this rune with the Norse deities of wealth and prosperity, Freyr and Freyja, whose name begins with the same sound. Their name means lord and laity in Old Norse, and one wonders if the lord in Anglo-Saxon rune poem originally referred to a similar figure. The term I cannot pronounce. It's Drihtne, refers to the leader of a war band, and both Freyr and Freyja have a warrior aspect as well. Freyr and Freyja are the second generation of the Vanir, the other clan of gods. They govern the fertility of the land and the creatures that live upon it, especially the increase of flocks and herds. As fertility deities, their influence extends naturally into the area of love, on the other hand, and commerce on the other. In this context, Aswin suggests that the rune should also be connected to Njorth, god of commerce on the seas. In earliest times, Freyr's animal may have been the deer, the horned beast herded by Robin Hood. Certainly the rune has the appearance of the antler, which will be Freyr's only weapon at Ragnarok, the final battle in which the giants. Freyr's sword was the payment given to Skirnir to win the giant maid Gred as the god's bride. She finally agreed to thrice with him at the sacred barley field. Clearly, the complex of motives associated with the Vanir is rich in association with fertility, and bread and beef are still the staple food of the northern hemisphere. Today, wealth is represented not by cattle but by money, which is also a symbolic form of energy. Money gives power, but it can become useless if it is conserved too tightly. For the community to prosper, money and energy have to move on. If horned beasts belong to Freyr, gold is an attribute of Freyja. Her best known possession is the necklace Briskenum, acquired by exchanging sexual energy with the skills of the dwarf smiths. When she searched the world for her lost lover, she was said to have wept tears of gold. The first episode in the conflict between the Asti and the Vanir occurs when an intoxication of gold, who is usually considered an aspect of Freyja, enters the hall of the High One. The warrior member, the first in the world, when Golvik with spears was gashed, and the halls of Har she was burned three times, born often again, yet never she lives. Philipsbo 21. After this demonstration, the gods decide to make a treaty with the Vanir in better part of valor, and Freyr and Freyja go to the Asgard in exchange for hostages. In Gulsveg, inherently dangerous, or are the problems caused by the gods' hostility? The power represented by Gulsveg is a basic human drive, and although greed can cause serious problems, when gold delights instead of destroys, even its enjoyment can be a positive thing. It is productive. If the forces of Freyr must be kept in motion by the exchanges of Gibo and the harvesting of Jara. Alright. And now, then she goes on about interpreting the using of the rune, and what you can actually do is, you can also, you can draw the rune if you're gardening to increase the bounty of your garden, which is really great. Yeah. You can also you can also go and put it on a bowl and use that bowl and put money in there. So I thought that was interesting. All right. So that is the end of that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did have a lot of fun making this video. But yeah, so that is the rune for this month. I also think this is also an appropriate rune for the new year, because we are hoping to recover what we've lost in the previous year, and we're hoping that we will be blessed with prosperity and happiness, especially in the realm of new jobs and not losing our homes. So I will end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, may you be happy, healthy, most importantly be safe, and hail to the gods. Bye.